Hello again. How are you this evening? A little bit of a change here. Got rid of the facial hair. Still close cropped up here. Anyway, tonight, after a long weekend of visiting at the 2015 Dragon Con in Atlanta, meeting some wonderful people, some celebrities, exchanging business cards and information, doing a little self-promotion. Back home now, a little rested, and ready to tackle our 8th book review. We've done some interesting books so far. Before we get started, obviously I want to draw everyone's attention to the Pacer organization, who can be followed on Twitter at Pacer Center. Their email or their webpage is pacer.org/bullying. This is my attempt to do my part to help combat online bullying, because it's become an issue and it's out of hand. It's I had a discussion with a very good friend of mine not too long ago about the topic, and he was of the opinion that children nowadays are pussies, and I agree. Children are pussies, but the fact still remains is that life is hard enough nowadays. I'll paraphrase the Bible, where it says, in the last days there will be critical times hard to deal with, and we certainly are facing critical times hard to deal with. And children don't need to put up with that kind of nonsense. And it's not so simple as blocking someone or unfriending them or trying to avoid them, because they're going to hunt you down. They're going to find you. So anyway, I do want to call out Vistaprint.com, because I'm going to put up this information here. This is my website, as you all know. Let's get it into focus. Fantastic Dreams Books. As you can see, it has my phone number and email address. They recently sent me 2 new car magnets, and they posted a P.O. box. Unfortunately, all they posted was the P.O. box, 73650. That's it. No other information. The information is on the website, fantasticdreamsbooks.com. Fantastic spelled with a K, dreams with a Z. It is in Noonan, Georgia. The zip code is 30271. Anyway, tonight what we're going to do is our 8th book review, and it's an exciting one. But first, I just want to draw your attention back to some of my stuff. Obviously, you are well versed in my ongoing saga with A Crude World and the members of the New York Mercantile Exchange and former members of the exchange who have taken umbrage with my portrayal of life on the trading floor. Even though everything that I wrote in this book is 100% true, and I went out of my way to change names, they still have a problem with it. But I digress. We have The Queen and I, my latest dark comedy about a Broadway playwright who has his life torn apart by an eccentric billionaire, and who befriends the ghost of a 1920s vaudevillian drag queen who wants to help him write his next best play, the next big thing, if you will. All the while he is being hunted by a sadistic madman. And then the first book, the book that started it all, Are You Kosher? Memoirs of a Jewish Vampire. Starting Friday, September 11th on Goodreads.com through October 11th, there will be a giveaway in the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia for 10 free autographed copies of this book. I will give more details when they come out officially. I will not be posting anything on September 11th, though, because that day is sacred to me. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure how I'm even going to be handling the day. But today we're going to be doing a book review, and it's going to be the first time that I'm reviewing a nonfiction book. And I'm excited about that. And it was an excellent book. And it is this one here, American Sniper, by the late brave hero Chris Kyle. It was portrayed in the theaters by Bradley Cooper, brilliantly I might add, directed superbly by Clint Eastwood. The book itself was fascinating. I tore through it. It was a harsh look at what life was like for Mr. Kyle in his journey from being, a humble kid growing up and moving around the state of Texas to his life as a Navy SEAL and his experiences in Iraq and his relationship with his wife and his children and dealing with his own demons. I found, though, that he was a little cavalier with some of the scenes depicting his kills. Now, I am in no way implying that he was not perfectly honest about everything in that book. I do not doubt for a second that he was honest. If he wasn't, then shame on him. But he's not alive to answer, sadly, because of a coward who took his life and left his wife a widow and his children without a father. But the fact of the matter is that even though it was the enemy, and the insurgents were not just killing Americans, they were killing Iraqis also, who were trying to help the Americans and build a better life for themselves after the brutal regime of Saddam Hussein. Whether you like the war or not, the fact of the matter still remains is that Saddam Hussein was an evil man who deserved everything he got and should have been removed from power. He should have been removed from the first George Bush. But Mr. Kyle was a little cavalier with the fact that he was taking human life. And at times it was a little hard to swallow. Because you can say all you want, I'm comfortable meeting my maker and all of this. And the fact of the matter is that you are going to have to answer for it. And I'm not God. That's one of the few things in life that I am 100% sure of, is that I'm not God. I'm giving the book 3.5 stars out of 5. I do highly recommend it. Remember, for me, if I give you 2.5 stars, that's a good review. 3 is a very good review. 3.5, you're starting to get into rarefied air there. But I can't give it a 4. I can't go that far. And mainly because of how cavalier he was about the fact that he was taking lives. Whether or not these people deserved it or not. Because the fact of the matter is that even though he writes in the book that they have to have witnesses for each kill so that they can avoid legal action, and that they could get arrested under the Articles of War for taking lives. Give me a break. There are very few soldiers who are going to rat out their comrade. And he cannot possibly have been positive beyond a reasonable doubt that every single life he took was, in fact, an insurgent. There's no way he can. It's impossible. especially the way he discusses it. And some of the scenes seem a little far-fetched. I'm assuming that a lot of you have read the book. It's not so much a spoiler alert. There is one scene where he talks about watching insurgents crossing a river using inflatable, beach balls. And he's playfully shooting the balls out and watching as they all scramble because none of them know how to swim to the next ball. And I find that, I don't know, it's a little hard to believe. It's a little hard to believe that they're standing around watching this and they're laughing and they're saying, hey, look at this, look at these schmucks, and they're shooting away. But I'm not going to trample on the memory of Mr. Kyle. I do believe that the man was a hero. I think that he deserved a lot better than what he got. I was glad at the end of the movie that Clint Eastwood showed actual footage of his funeral, and I believe that he deserved every honor that he received. And I wish nothing but the best to his widow and to his children. The book, like I said, I give it 3.5 stars. That'll be it for tonight. Our next video will be talking about the angst of being an indie author. I'm going to go more into my experiences at DragonCon 2015, and we will go into detail about the contest for Are You Kosher. That won't be until after the 11th of September, though, because like I said, I believe that should be a national holiday. I don't think anything should be open. I think that should be a national day of mourning, and that we should never ever forget, because I know that I never have. In spite of what some of my former colleagues say, it hurts every day, and this is a bad time of year. But until next time, I wish all of you good night, good luck, and God bless.